What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 12, episode 10. So, we're at Carnival. This episode wasn't really a whole lot with it, you guys. It was sort of a filler episode. We're at Carnival. The ladies, we pick up where the ladies left off. They're at having cocktails and so forth on the rooftop, and Nene comes through. Nene's quiet. She don't make no smoke. They're in the middle of talking about why Kenya told Cynthia that she thought that Mike was getting ready to propose. Then they talked about the proposal, and poor Nene, you could see that she felt out of place, that she probably felt a little bad that she wasn't there for the proposal, and she hadn't been invited to the proposal. But it wasn't no smoke. It wasn't no smoke. And then they ended up going to the first event of Carnival. Tanya said, Carnival was a week-long event maybe it wasn't the first event, but they call it the King and Queen Showcase. Each band that's represented at the Carnival has a King and Queen. And so there's a showcase where they come out. They had these elaborate costumes, and it was really nice. And the ladies had a good time. They went on back to the hotel, and Nene, Marlo, Giovanna, and Candy ended up hanging out in Nene's room because, like Candy said, I'm the only one that's getting along with Nene at this point. I mean, of course, her and Marlo gonna always rock, and Giovanna has floated to Nene. So Candy was hanging out with them, and so they were having the conversation about the snake. Who was the snake? And of course, Nene was like, I know who it is, but I ain't about to talk about who it is. Then, they were talking about, they talked about the snake, which they making such a big deal out of this whole daggone snake thing, honey. They talked about the thank you card, the congratulations card. Remember last episode, come to find out that congratulations card made it to be Scott. And Nene said, look, I don't talk to bloggers, I don't send information to bloggers, I don't know how he got it. She said, but what I do know is, I think either Tanya or Marlo made the comment that at one point Cynthia misplaced the card. Now fast forward to real time, Nene said that Cynthia did that. And you know what? I wouldn't put it past Cynthia to try to create a bigger wedge between, Kenya. And I wouldn't put it past Kenya to try to drive a bigger wedge between Cynthia and Nene. But I can't say that's what happened. I don't know. But then, so that's kind of what they talked about, who the snake was, and this whole who told the blogger. And I believe Nene. I do. I know that some people do go to bloggers, but I don't know. I kind of believe Nene. We see the next morning, we see everybody. We see them getting ready for the day and all that stuff. Candy's worried about being able to fit into her costume. She said, look, I have been living my best life, okay? I've been eating what I want to eat, and, I've been trying to, do good, but I don't know about this carnival costume. And, of course, Todd said all the right stuff he's supposed to say to his wife when she starts talking about her body. Might not be what she wanted to be. Because they're going down to try on their outfits for carnival. Then we see Portia talking to Dennis, and Dennis made a comment that he might have to pull up on her. So, anyway, foreshadowing, okay? So the ladies trying their costumes, and Candy looked nice. Everybody looked nice. I think all of them were a little subconscious about their costumes, but I think everybody looked nice in it. They did a fitting to make sure that, if any adjustments needed to be made for the next day and all of that. Now, Eva's not participating because Eva has a charity event. She won't be able to go with them to the parade. Nene's not going to be there because Nene has an event. She's actually leaving, and she has an event she has to go to Atlanta for. And of course, they were like, okay, so you're going to come late and leave early. But I think what she did was perfect, because you were not sure how you were going to be received. You weren't sure how everything was going to go. So you give yourself a quick little window. So if things go well, you have a great launching pad into the next event. If things do not go well, you don't have to be there long. It is what it is. Now, Nene took this opportunity as an opportunity to talk to Eva. And they were able to further hash out their issue. Because like Nene said, look, me and you were friends. Like, what happened? And then Eva brought up the situation last year when, you know, Nene sort of tricked her into having a conversation on camera when she told Nene, I don't want to talk on the mic, I don't want to talk on camera, I just need my friend right now. And so she said, you know, she felt some kind of way about how that whole situation went down. But they apologized, and you know, they apologized to each other, and they hugged it out. And you know, Eva was like, look, I'll accept Nene's apology, but I still got my eye on her. Which is how you should do it. I mean, you know, and who was over in the corner looking like they feeling looking real hot, steam was coming out their ears, honey? Miss Giovanna. Because, see, Giovanna is worried about somebody coming in and taking her spot. So the ladies end up, after they try on their outfits and everything, the ladies end up hanging out. They go to the, I forget the name of the building, but basically it's like the Space Needle. It's like the largest, it's like a big landmark in Toronto. And they have a sky bridge where you can actually go out and walk along the bridge. And so, of course, most of the girls were like, no, hell no, never no. But what ends up happening is Nene doesn't do it because she says she's definitely afraid of heights. And Eva can't do it because she's pregnant. They're not going to allow her to do it. But the rest of the ladies, they put the equipment on and they walk along this little sky bridge, honey. You know, I think I would do it. I think I would do it. Yeah, I think I would do it. Anyway. But they did it. They had a good time. It was all good. It was all fun. Giovanna had a conversation with Candy and Portia. And here she go throwing salt. Talking about yeah, because I don't know if I would have been able to forgive Eva like you. I mean, as fast as you did. I mean, I just don't know about that. I don't know. I wouldn't have been able to move on as fast as you moved on. And Portia was like, well, look, you know, we're all adults. You know, people say things, people do things. But, you know, we're friends and it is what it is. You know, we all say things we don't mean sometimes. We moving on. And I was like, see, Giovanna ain't want to hear that. Yeah, Giovanna ain't want to hear that. Anyway. But they had a good time, honey. They walked the bridge while Nene and Eva, they went up to like a little observation deck area, but it was rotating, it moved, and they had drinks and they had food. It was, again, the ladies are having a really good time. So later on that night, they're getting ready to, they go back to the hotel, and I believe they're going to, later on that night, they're going to, Tanya's having like a big family party, she said. Now, nothing really, okay, let me go back real quick. Nothing really major went down with Nene and Eva. They were talking while they had cocktails and everything. Basically, though, Nene threw some shade at Portia. She said she felt like the text between her and Portia were private, and that it was wrong for Portia to make those texts public and then to turn it into something it wasn't. She was like, it was two friends arguing. We might have said some things that was below the belt or that we didn't mean, but it wasn't for public consumption, and she crossed the line by doing that. I don't disagree with her on that. I do feel like Portia probably didn't need to let the world know what they were saying to each other privately, but whatever. She said, as far as Kenya is concerned, she said, me and Kenya ain't never been cool. So me talking about Kenya ain't no thing. Like, it is what it is. Because me and her ain't never been cool. And she said, you know, with me and Cynthia, I just feel like we need to find some closure. You know, and Eva said, yeah, or maybe some opening. And Nene said, well, you know, that's probably not going to be this trip. So, but it was a good conversation. So, they, again, like I said, they head back to the hotel. And they're really having a good time. They're laughing and they're joking and there's no drama. They're getting ready for the party. And who gets some flowers delivered is Miss Portia. Dennis done sent her some flowers, honey. She called Lauren. Lauren was giving her the side eye like, alright, I mean, we know he know how to find you to send some flowers. Because remember, he sent her flowers in Tokyo last year. So she was like, we know he can do that. But, you know, it is what it is. So then, Tanya's in her room getting herself together, honey, and Paul shows up. Paul's got this real cute Louis Vuitton book bag. That is a cute bag he has. But anyway, he shows up, and look who he got with him. Dennis. Dennis said he came back to get his woman. He said he know he messed up and he want that old thing back. And Tanya and Paul are friends with them. And Tanya said, look, we have been friends with, Portia and Dennis. We've been silently rooting for them to get back together, for them to work it out. And I am here to support Dennis and him trying to get his woman back. So I am all here for it. So Dennis is there to, he gonna pull up on her. He said he was gonna pull up on her. Now he told her that. I think she thought he was joking, but he told her he was gonna pull up. The ladies are headed over. Tanya says she's having a family party. Now, they thought the family... Well, first of all, they're dressed like they're going to the club. So, they had to... or at least some of them are. That outfit Giovanna had on... I don't know. I didn't know that's how we dress to meet people, mama. But, okay. They're on the bus on their way to the party. And Kenya starts the impression game. And she starts off by doing an impression of Tanya. And Kenya, it was some shade thrown in there, but then the rest of them started doing impressions, and it was fun, and they laughed, and it even got to the point by the time it was over where Candy did an impression of Nene, and Nene laughed. Everybody, the only person that didn't appreciate their impression was Giovanna's impression of Portia. She didn't appreciate, but you know what, it is what it is. It was all in fun. Everybody got shaded. It's whatever. Maybe hers wasn't the best impression, but child. So they get to the party, honey, and everybody's having a good time. It's not what they expected, because they expected, like they thought they was going to somebody's house for a little cookout. And it's not. It's a beautiful party with beautiful people. And Giovanna said, yeah, it's like basically people I went to high school with, people I went to elementary school with, my family. Like it's a party. It's a celebration. And they asked her, well, how did she get to Atlanta? And Tanya was a nurse, because she said that, that was at a time when traveling nursing was big. And I know friends who've done that, and you make good money, but you definitely move around a lot. But it's good money to be made if you are cool with that. And so she said she did it in New York for a few years, and then she ended up in Atlanta doing that. And then she met Paul, and she was like, that was it. Like I wasn't trying to go nowhere after I met him. And so she does something different now. We found out, I forgot what they told us last year she does, but she does something different now, but I think it's still in the medical field if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so that's where it started. So they're having a good time, honey. They're taking the shots. They're talking about love and all that good stuff, Now, something great ended up happening. A couple of things went down. But what great ended up happening was Cynthia and Nene ended up having a conversation. And it wasn't about fleshing out drama. It wasn't about, let's talk about how you hurt me. They were just having a good old girlfriend conversation. And for about probably 10-15 minutes, they forgot they were supposed to be mad at each other. They got to talking about the proposal and Mike getting down on one knee. And Nene said, I remember we went out on a date. We did karaoke. Mike took that shirt off. Cynthia said, baby, that was the turning point, honey. That's when I knew that I wanted him. I said, oh, he must have a six-pack or something, Mike. Go ahead, Mike, here with the six-pack. And they were having a good time. And then Cynthia ended up showing Nene the ring. And Nene was like, oh, that is beautiful. I'm impressed with that. Like, it was a good conversation. And again, like I said, for about 10 or 15 minutes, they forgot they were supposed to be mad at each other. You know what I'm saying? Now, on the other side of the bar, we got Curly, Larry, and Mo. We got the, what they used to call the Keebler Cops. The Keystone Cops over on the other side. We have Portia, Cynthia, and Candy they said they're going to figure out who the snake is. Now, Cynthia has already made up her mind and she thinks it's Giovanna. I think Portia thinks it's Giovanna too. Candy, I think she thinks it's Giovanna, but her thing is, I have asked Giovanna more than once and she keeps telling me it's not her. So they summon Giovanna. They go and get her to go talk to her. And I feel like Giovanna has changed her story, but I can't say that for certain, so I'm going to just leave that on the side. Y'all tell me in the comments if Miss Giovanna has changed her story, because I feel like her story has changed. But maybe I'm reading too much into it, because I think I want her to be guilty, so I'm going to put that to the side. Maybe she didn't do nothing wrong this time. But they get the questioning Giovanna, and Giovanna is like, look, it is not me. Y'all trying to say that I'm the snake? She said definitively, it is not me. They said, well, do you know who it is? She said, of course I know. They said, well, tell us who it is. She said, no, I'm not. No, they said, is the person with us? No, they said, are they in our inner circle? And she said, yeah. Well, are they with us now? She said, now, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to tell you if they with us now. And so Cynthia tried to throw the, well, you just being shady, or was it Candy? One of them was like, well, by you not telling us, you just being shady. And they tried to get her to say something, but honey, Giovanna wasn't giving it up. But Giovanna knows who it is, but I think it is Giovanna ass. But anyway, last but not least, they're sitting there and they're having drinks. Once again, Tanya's talking about love, and you know, she wants to show them what love is. And she said, I have a special guest to show y'all what love is. And DJ Kick It. And who come walking through the crowd? Dennis. And you know, Dennis had bought his ring. He showed us that when he was back at the hotel room with Tanya and Paul. He done bought the ring with him, honey. Dennis done came to get his woman. Anyway, y'all, that's where it ended. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.